Daniel Ruiz stared at the wrinkled $5 bill in his hand. It was soft at the edges, like it had been through many pockets and much harder days, just like him. $5. That was all he had left. The rest of his money had gone to rent, which he was already behind on. The landlord had slipped a pink warning notice under his door that morning, the kind that made your stomach fall through the floor. His car needed gas. His fridge had nothing but a bottle of ketchup and a sad half onion. And his phone bill was due tomorrow. Still, he smiled to himself. At least he had something. Some people had nothing at all. The wind pushed through the bus stop he was standing at, cold enough to make him pull his thin jacket tighter. He checked his watch. The bus was late, again, just like everything else in his life. He wasn't normally dramatic, but today he felt like the whole world had decided to test him. Hard. He looked around the small-town street. Cars passed by. People walked with purpose. People who weren't wondering how to stretch $5 into 5 days. He sighed. Then he saw her. A young woman walked toward him slowly, hugging her arms around herself like she was freezing. Her jacket was too thin, her shoes looked worn out, and her face had the kind of sadness people try to hide but can't. "Excuse me," she said softly when she reached him. Do you have a few dollars so I can get some food?" Her voice trembled. Her eyes were red. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. Daniel swallowed. The $5 he had felt suddenly heavy in his pocket. He needed that money. He really, really needed it. But the woman in front of him needed it more. He smiled, a small, tired smile, and pulled out the bill. "It's not much," he said, placing it in her hand, "but it's all I have." Her eyes widened. "All?" He nodded. She stared at him for a long second, and her voice broke a little as she whispered, "Thank you. Thank you so much." Then she walked away. Daniel sat back down, knowing he had no bus fare now. He'd have to walk home, 2 miles, in the cold. But somehow, he felt warm inside. What he didn't know was this. She wasn't just any stranger, and she wasn't just asking. She was filming him. Her name was Emma Carter, 26, content creator, trying to make a video called "Would Anyone Help a Stranger?" for her rising social media channel. She had filmed many people that day. Most ignored her. Some walked away quickly. Others pretended not to hear. But the young man at the bus stop, he was different. He didn't hesitate. He didn't look annoyed. He didn't judge her. He just gave, and gave everything. As she walked around the corner, she pressed her back against the wall and let out a shaky breath. She wasn't supposed to cry during a social experiment, but that moment had hit her harder than she expected. She pulled out her small hidden camera. The footage was perfect. No, it was more than perfect. It was real and rare. She wanted to run back and tell him the truth, but the experiment rules said she had to wait. She had to record the full reaction later. Still, something about him lingered in her mind. His smile, the tired look in his eyes, the kindness that didn't match the worn-out clothes he wore. She replayed the moment on the tiny screen. "This man," she whispered to herself, "is special." Daniel walked the whole 2 miles home. By the time he reached his small apartment building, his feet hurt and his fingers were numb. He climbed the shaky wooden stairs and pushed open his door. The apartment was quiet and cold. He dropped his jacket onto the couch and sat down. He looked at the empty counter, the overdue bills, the pink notice. "Maybe tomorrow will be better," he whispered, though even he didn't believe it. He didn't know that tomorrow would be the day everything changed, not because of luck, not because of fate, but because kindness has a strange way of coming back, sometimes louder than expected. Emma edited the video that night. She added soft music, captions, and a voiceover. "This man gave me his last $5. He didn't know I was filming. He didn't know I wanted nothing from him, except to see if kindness still exists." She posted it the next morning. By noon, the video had 10 million views. By evening, it had 28 million. By the next day, her inbox was flooded. Who is he? Find that man. We want to help him. Hashtags trended. Kindness still exists. The $5 hero, heartwarming story, real-life angel. The world wanted to know who Daniel was, and Emma felt something growing in her chest. Something warm, nervous, and excited. She had to find him again, but she didn't know his name, or where he lived, or anything really. So she returned to the bus stop. Daniel almost didn't go to work the next day, but he needed the money, even if the boss barely gave him hours. So he dragged himself out of bed, washed his face, and walked back to the bus stop. That's where he saw her. The same woman. Standing there, holding a camera this time, not hidden. When she noticed him approaching, her face lit up like a sunrise. "You!" she cried, running up to him. "I've been looking everywhere for you." Daniel blinked. "For me?" "Yes, I have something to tell you." Her hands trembled. He could tell she was nervous, but excited too. She took a deep breath. "I was filming a social experiment. When I asked for money, I wasn't really in trouble. But you helped me anyway. You gave me everything you had." Daniel's heart dropped into his stomach. "Oh," he said softly, embarrassment rising in his chest. "I didn't know." "That's the point," she said quickly. "You didn't know, and you still helped. That's what makes you amazing." Amazing! No one had called him that in years. Before he could respond, she continued, "I posted the video. It went viral. Millions of people want to help you. They want to know your story." "My story," he repeated. "Yes," she whispered. "Your kindness touched people. It changed something in them, and now it's time for it to change something for you too." She led him toward a parked car nearby. "Wait," Daniel said, stopping. "Who said I want anything? I didn't give you the money for a reward." "I know," she said softly. "That's why you deserve one." She opened the car door and pulled out an envelope, thick and white. Daniel shook his head. No, I can't take that." "Please," she begged. "This isn't from me. This is from the people who watched your video, people who were inspired by you. It belongs to you." He swallowed hard. His hands shook as he took the envelope. Inside was a check. He blinked, looked again, almost dropped it. "Is this real?" he whispered. "Yes," she said with a smile, "but this is $10,000. "Yes." "But I only gave you 5. "And that," she said, "is why you deserve all of it." Daniel felt his chest tighten. His eyes burned. "I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything," she whispered. "Just let the world give back to you for once." That money changed everything. Daniel paid off his rent, filled his fridge, fixed his car, bought decent clothes, and even started saving, something he hadn't been able to do in years. But something else changed too. He kept thinking about Emma, her smile, her honesty, the way her eyes lit up when she talked. The way she kept checking on him, calling him, asking how he was doing. At first he thought she was just being polite. Then he realized something. She cared, really cared, and he cared too. Their friendship grew quickly. They went for coffee, walked in the park, talked for hours about life, dreams, and mistakes. One evening, while sitting on a hill overlooking the town, Emma said, "You know, you changed me too." "How?" Daniel asked. "I filmed that experiment to get views. I didn't expect to feel anything. But meeting you, it made me see people differently. It made me believe kindness isn't rare. It's just quiet." Daniel blushed. "I'm not special." "You are," she said, "and you don't even realize it." That night, she kissed him, a soft, gentle kiss, warm like the sunrise and surprising like a plot twist in a good story. Daniel felt like the world had shifted under his feet. He had gone from struggling to survive to feeling alive. But stories aren't perfect, life isn't smooth, and love isn't always easy. One day, Emma received an email. A company wanted to buy the rights to the video for a lot of money, more money than she had ever seen. She didn't want to sell it, but everyone around her said she should, her manager, her friends, even strangers online. Daniel, however, felt strange about it. "I don't want my face being used everywhere," he said. "I don't want people making money off me." "But I made the video," she said gently, "and it could help both of us." "Help?" he repeated. "Or change us," they argued. Voices rose, feelings were hurt. Emma cried, Daniel walked away, and both felt their hearts break a little. For 2 days, they didn't talk. The internet didn't know, the world didn't see. But Emma felt like she had lost something more important than any video. On the 3rd day, Daniel knocked on her door. Emma opened it, eyes puffy, nose red. Daniel held out a small paper bag. "Peace offering," he said. "Your favorite chocolate." She laughed through her tears. "I'm sorry," he said softly. "I let my fear talk for me." "No," she said. "I'm sorry. I should have listened more." They stood there in silence. Then Daniel took her hand. "I don't care about the money," he said. "I care about you." Emma's eyes filled with tears again. "I care about you too." They hugged, long, warm, real. And just like that, the crack in their story began to heal. They decided to keep the video rights themselves, not for money, not for fame, but to control the message. They used the earnings to start a small charity fund called the $5 Kindness Project, helping people in hard times, just like Daniel once was. And their love grew, slowly, warmly, beautifully. People online called it a real-life love story, a feel-good story, a heartwarming story that restores faith in humanity, and it truly was. But to Daniel and Emma, it was just their life. 2 people brought together by a moment of kindness. 2 hearts learning to trust again. 2 souls finding home in each other. 1 year later, Daniel stood at the same bus stop. Same cold wind, same cracked sidewalk. But everything else was different. He wasn't broke, he wasn't tired, he wasn't alone. Emma walked up beside him and took his hand. "Remember the first time we met here?" she asked. "How could I forget?" he laughed. "I thought you just needed $5. And you gave it." "Best investment of my life," he joked. She leaned her head on his shoulder. "Daniel?" "Yeah?" "I think kindness chooses people, and that day, it chose you." He smiled, kissed her forehead, and whispered, "No, it chose us." Because sometimes the smallest act, a wrinkled $5 bill, can start something bigger than anyone expects. A story, a movement, a love, a life. And the world, for once, felt just a little warmer.